We're into the second round of the 6A and 5A playoffs, and things are only heating up. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, presented by Visit Arlington, your guide to Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. So while a lot of eyes of the Texas high school football world are going to be on AT&T Stadium, where the 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A state champions will be crowned, remember, we're only into the area round of the 6A and 5A playoffs. And after a round one that was mostly chalky, with the exception of some major upsets, hello Round Rock, hello San Antonio Roosevelt, we're now into the area round. We're into the second round, and we're starting to separate the wheat from the chaff. We're starting to get some real big-time matchups that it's going to be a shame to see some of these teams go home. So we start in Cedar Park. 7 o'clock Friday night at Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park. It's 5A Division II area round matchup between the Liberty Hill Panthers and the Burnet champion Chargers. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, Liberty Hill's big test. So the Panthers are 9-0, and they are one of the most dominant teams in the state of Texas statistically. They are beating their opponents by an average of 45 points. Yeah, they've just been absolutely clobbering people. But they haven't run exactly the toughest schedule. You see, their opponents are combined 31-48 on the year, and I think Burnet Champion provides the biggest test they have seen to date, especially when you see what they're made of. Quarterback Carson Kaiser has been really, really good. I think running back Alex Rodriguez is really starting to hit his stride, and the defense has been playing very well as well, giving up just 9 points per game. So this is Liberty Hill's biggest test of the season. Do they pass it? Key number two, champion versus the slot T. So speaking of that outstanding Chargers defense, Garrett Menzies leads an outstanding unit that's allowing just 9 points per game, but they are facing the slot T. Liberty Hill runs it about as well as anybody, with Trey Seward and Blake Simpson leading the way. It is extremely hard to stop if you've never seen it before, and Liberty Hill runs it about as well as anybody in the state. So it's a huge challenge for everyone, especially Burnet Champion. And by the way, Burnet Champion hasn't exactly played a murderer's row as well. This is their big test of the season too. So going up against this relatively exotic offense, can the champion Chargers come through? And key number three, hold the rope. That's the motto for this Liberty Hill team. It was started by former coach Jerry Vance and brought back this season by Coach Jeff Walker. It's been about 3 weeks since Jeff Walker passed away. He died due to a long battle with kidney cancer, and last week was a really emotional experience for the Liberty Hill community, saying goodbye to their longtime head coach and leader, and it was very impressive to see Liberty Hill go out there and perform the way that they did in their bi-district win over Leander Glenn. But I think we would all understand if they were a little bit emotionally spent, right? I mean, this is a situation where you never know how teams are going to react to tragedy. But hold the rope has been their motto. That has been their guiding principle this year. Can they hold the rope again on behalf of their coach? Who am I picking? I'm going with Liberty Hill. The Panthers get the nod here, not only because of their outstanding offense led by Trey Seward in that slot T attack, but also I think their defense is playing exceptionally well. Now, again, I think you're well within your rights to say, well, who they played? And I think that's accurate. But I think that they are for real. I don't think they're just a product of a weak schedule. Now, look, I think if you're champion, you want to get this score up. I think that they have the firepower to score quickly, especially quarterback Carson Kaiser, who is one of the best quarterbacks that nobody in the state is really talking about. I think this game is going to be really fun and the first big test for both of these teams. But I think Liberty Hill gets a win. 6 o'clock Friday night at Legacy Stadium in Katy. It's a 6A Division I area round matchup between the Katy Tompkins Falcons and the Cy-Fair Bobcats. And now we're getting into the fun part for one of the deepest regions in the state, 6A Division I Region 3, and what a showdown we've got here. Great clash in styles here. Of course, you've got the hard-nosed, hard-charging running game with Cy-Fair led by L.J. Johnson going up against a more wide-open spread attack for Tompkins led by quarterback Jalen Milroe. These two offenses are going to put on a show, and so it's going to come down to the defenses. Who can come up with the big stops? And I think this is a really important moment for Tompkins, okay? This is a team that wants to be the bell cow of Katy ISD. After knocking off Katy earlier this year, they believe that it is their crown to wear. Well, this is an opportunity to go and knock off a really good Cy-Fair team and do it with their defense. If they do that, I think they're going to have a great shot to beat pretty much anybody in their path. I think this game is going to be fun and really hard-hitting, but I think Tompkins gets a narrow win. 7 o'clock Friday night at McLean Stadium in Waco. It's a 6A Division II area-round matchup between the Temple Wildcats and the Rockwall-Heath Hawks. A lot of storylines in this one, most notably the return of former Temple coach Mike Spradlin, now coaching at Rockwall-Heath, and he is bringing with him a big-time offense with running back Zach Evans and quarterback Josh Hoover. They are lighting up scoreboards left and right, but they're going up against what is one of the very best defenses in Central Texas in Temple, led by Devin Williams. This is a really talented defense, and I think that's where they have the edge. Especially get a couple of stops, give the ball back to Humberto Arizmendi and this really talented young Temple attack. Now, a lot of emotions in this game. I think this game's going to be really interesting. It could come down to the wire, but I give the edge to the Wildcats. I think Temple moves on to the regional semifinals. In 7:30 p.m. Thursday night at Waller ISD Stadium, it's a 5A Division I area-round matchup between the Cedar Park Timberwolves and the Richmond Foster Falcons. Richmond Foster is really hard to figure out, right? This is a team that when they've played up to their paper, they look amazing. They look incredible. Some of their wins, they have looked like the best team in the state, plain and simple. But then they've also gone out there and gotten drilled by Klein Kane and Manville, and they beat Fort Bend Travis 7-3. A really bizarre game. They're a team that's been really inconsistent, but when they play up to their paper, I'm telling you, quarterback Philip Amy and wide receiver Cody Jackson have been outrageous, and that defense is capable of being really, really good. Cedar Park is kind of a lesson in steadiness, right? You kind of know what you're getting from Cedar Park every single week. You're getting great defense. That Black Rain defense has been terrific for Coach Carl Absek, and of course, great quarterback play from quarterback Ryder Hernandez. Now, I think Foster is fully capable of winning this game if they play up to their potential, but steady as she goes for the Timberwolves, I think Cedar Park moves on to the regional semifinals. But those are far from the only big games in the area round of the Texas High School Football 6A and 5A playoffs. My picks are scrolling down here at the bottom of the screen, so if I don't say it out loud, it's down there. Let's get to the lightning round. I like Euless Trinity over Midland Lee. Round Rock stays hot with a win over Cibolo Steel, and I'm going with Spring Westfield over Klein Kane. Some really tough games to call in 6A Division II. I like Shadow Creek just barely over Houston CE King. I like San Antonio Brennan over Edinburgh Vela in a suddenly wide open Region 4, and I'm going with Abilene over North Crowley. 5A Division I now, I like Colleyville Heritage over Amarillo. Corpus Christi Flower Bluff survives a scare from San Antonio South Side. And in that rough and tumble Region 2, I think Frisco Lone Star gets the edge over Magnolia. 5A Division II now, I like South Oak Cliff over Frisco. Texas High, very close over Crosby. And I'm going with Canyon Randall over El Paso Parkland. And those are the picks. I picked every single 6A and 5A playoff game this weekend. I either said it out loud or scrolling down here below. So you can tell me, what am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2020 Texas High School Football Playoffs at texasfootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the area round of the 6A and 5A state playoffs. Be safe. Wear a mask. We'll see you.